Fired up on a Thursday afternoon. Feeling good. Back in Jersey. I love New Jersey. I am just, I don't know. I'm a Jersey guy. I can't help it.
I love New Jersey too.
I just do. We just do. Special one today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you were all able to see episode 2 of Through Their Eyes with Quentin Webb, Old Dominion Services down in Roanoke, Virginia, and the greater Virginia area. It was a pretty interesting one. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. There was a lot of different things to see, from making breakfast out on the road and seeing things going on, and things that he cares about in his building. I mean, and I get it, being in the building since for a long time. I've been here a really long time, and I understand this. So, we're going to talk to Quentin today.
We might not, because we just lost him.
We have lost Quentin. Everything was going just fine.
Quentin and I were having a whole conversation for 10 minutes beforehand, and now, oh wait, hold on. I muted and my camera died. Quentin, if you can hear me, just come back out and join back in. Let's try it. We'll try it again. All right, he left.
Yeah. All right. So listen, we're gonna wait for Quentin to come in. Obviously, we're here to talk to Q Dubs about the episode and get a little insight into how he felt while he was filming it, and we'll talk a little bit about everything. Definitely want to talk to him about crunching up potato chips and ketchup on that omelet. I guess that's sacrilege to some people, as he said. I wouldn't mind that.
That sounds really good.
It sounds amazing.
It's like hash browns.
Yeah.
But crunchier.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah. I would. I might actually try that, actually. Well, listen, there's a lot to be fired up about, not just Through Their Eyes, this FedCon. So we can talk about that while we wait for Quentin. FedCon.com. Go over there now. Get your tickets. Tickets are selling. We have 150 tickets total. We've already sold over 20. So you got to do the math. There's probably like less than 125 left. So once they're gone, and then you can't come. And then you're going to have FOMO, and then you're going to be mad, and you're going to call me, and you're going to be mad at me. You got to get the ticket now. Go get it. Industry leaders are going to be in the building. We are going to be talking about all kinds of industry pain points. We're going to be talking about digital branding and marketing. We're going to be teaching you all the tools, giving you all the tools you need to be successful, from Reels to TikTok. We're going to talk YouTube stuff, Instagram, Facebook. We're going to talk about the metaverse. We don't even know what the metaverse is yet. We're talking about it. We have Mark Schulman as a keynote speaker. Pink's drummer, going to talk about the rock star attitude. We got, excuse me. We got Ryan McCarty speaking on the culture of good. I'll be there. Josh Zolan will be there on stage. Lisa will be in the building.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't RSVP yet.
Uh-oh. Did you buy your ticket yet?
Oh, I didn't buy my ticket either.
I didn't either. I got to jump on and buy my ticket later.
Now I have to pay the full price because I missed the early bird.
Yep. I got to pay full pop. Damn it. All right. Well, listen, I think Quentin is back in the studio.
Yes, he is.
So I don't think we're going to waste any time. I think we're going to jump onto this right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Quentin Webb to the building, to the Fired Up live stream. Quentin.
Hi.
Can you hear us?
I am back. I don't know what happened.
All right. That's okay. Listen, technology is a funny thing. Listen, welcome to Fired Up. How's your day going?
Pretty good. Been really great. Been looking forward to this.
Yeah, this is me too. It was a great episode last night. I tuned in. I had it set on my reminder on Fed TV. I was there. There were some people watching live.
Yes, there were.
You're getting a lot of great feedback. Taz has posted about it. A bunch of other people responding. Jeff Victory was saying we need more of this. There's a lot of good positive stuff. So let's go back to you receiving the equipment. Was it intimidating for you? How'd you feel when you got the package?
It was very exciting. I mean, it was like kind of like Christmas Day, honestly. Looking at all this, cool gear and the GoPro, which I thought about getting one anyway, just to have for my own personal usage, and set up in my van to have a camera to look ahead at all the morons that like to pull in front of me.
Yep.
So, and it was a little daunting at first, trying to figure out how to use the headpiece, and when I was going to use the GoPro, when I was going to use the tripod camera, and all that kind of stuff. But I figured it out pretty quick. Us gold collar, we'll figure it out.
That's right.
Quentin, you did a great job. I'm actually curious to know, what did you find yourself using the most in terms of the accessories with for the GoPro?
The headpiece, honestly, the headpiece was really useful working because, hands free, just right there. It's just not knowing the angle that I needed and all that. That was a tricky bit.
Mm.
And then the little piece that had the clamp and you could twist it around and move it. That was very handy, especially in my van. I could just clip it onto the door and then shoot myself and do a monologue.
Nice.
Long monologues in there, I know.
That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, I think you did a great job too. I was into it, and I think Jeff I wanted more too. I wanted to see more, and thankfully we do have more footage, so we could probably put some other things out at some point.
Blooper reel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I mean, let's talk family business, right? It's you, your dad. You're in that building for a long time. And I feel I get the feels, on that one, because family business, being in this building. What's it like for you now? You have kids. What's it like for you going in that building? Talk to me a little bit about maybe some nostalgia and some family business type stuff.
Well, I mean, literally, like I said in the video, I grew up in that building. I spent more of my entire life in that building than anywhere else. I mean, even in my homes I've lived in, I've really spent more time there because any chance I got to go with my dad, I would go with him. It's like, hey boy, I'm going to the shop. You want to go? Yeah. I want to go. Mm-hmm. Might be bored out of my mind, but I was there and I was with, my dad. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
He used to drag race motorcycles, which I showed in the video, and that's where he worked on that. So I'd go down with him and work on that, and then tinker around with equipment as I grew up and got older. It is nostalgia. That's the right word.
Yeah.
When you walk in the door, there's just so many memories, good, bad, all of it. I mean, it's a lot. I know. I've heard you talk about things you've had with your dad working and. That kind of dynamic. So you remember which wall you punched a hole in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it brings back a lot of vivid memories. So
yeah, there's still broken things in this building that have not been fixed that I have put some holes in. We just covered them up with some pictures. Yeah, it was wild times. So, I know you said your dad worked on motorcycles. So for food equipment, I don't know. Maybe I missed it. I don't know if I did. But how did you guys get into fixing commercial cooking equipment? Did you talk about that?
No, we didn't.
I don't think we did. So how did Old Dominion actually start? Because if your dad was doing that, how did that all come about?
Well, he went to work for Old Dominion in 1973. At the time, It was Old Dominion Services, a division of Old Dominion Electric, which had been around since 1903 out of Norfolk, Virginia. The man that owned it was Jack Hudgens, which was a founder of CFESA. So he had Norfolk, Richmond, and Jack had to come open Roanoke in 1966 because I think it was GE at the time and a couple other factories said, you've got to cover that end of the state or we're going to drop you. So he literally opened Roanoke only for that purpose and did very little business because it's a small town. Didn't have a whole lot going on. There was a local Hobart back when Hobart, had Hobart agents in town that were, corporate and not franchised. Mm-hmm. And he went to work there because a friend of his had gone to work there and said, hey, you need a job, come on over here. So he went to work there, and the guy that was his friend went off and became a truck driver. He did something totally different. So my dad stayed on board. And then my mom came there not long after that. And she started working there. And then in 92, Jack died. And then for 2 years, a management company actually ran Old Dominion, and they bled it dry. They embezzled all the money out of that company. And Jack's widow decided she was going to close the company down. So my parents made an offer, said, hey, can we buy the building and the business from you here in Roanoke? And they did. They went and borrowed some money and and bought it, and then they
Yeah.
started running on their own from there. And since 1994, they've owned and operated it. And it's a shame because I've always, speaking of nostalgia, I asked my dad, I was like, why didn't y'all get together and just buy the whole company from Miss Hudgens when y'all had the chance? And he said they tried to, but they just couldn't get everybody in agreement about how and, the meat of it to figure out how to do it. It's a shame because they were doing, Richmond and Norfolk were doing between $4 and $5 million a year. And this was in the 80s.
Wow.
I mean, we had the whole state except for Northern Virginia at that time. So, I mean, it was there in place and working and making money. And everybody there knew how to do it. Didn't need anybody to come help. We had all the infrastructure, but sadly that was gone. It ain't coming back. Although that's kind of where I'd like to go with it in my 30-year plan, is to try to do that if possible. But the way things are, who knows? It's crazy right now.
Yeah. So you do want to expand. You want to grow.
Yeah. Oh, I do. I mean, I desperately want to grow for several reasons. One, I want to get out of fixing stuff because I've spent 22 years doing it, and my knees and my hips are not getting any younger.
Yep. I hear it a lot. I know from the guys that are getting up there, it gets tougher.
And between that and, watching you progress over the last couple of years in your journey, and I've seen what you've done, I like the position you're in. I wouldn't want to be in your position because I don't think I could handle that much. It's too much. You're like juggling flaming chainsaws every day. You're the man as far as I'm concerned.
Well, thank you.
So,
I appreciate you.
But I would like to get into managing my business, running it instead of it running me, because that's what it is now. It runs me. I don't run it. And I would like to get into more consulting and specifying and selling. I mean, I have a dealer in town I work with for 20 years, and it's actually a small business. His father just passed away last year, and so I work with the son.
Okay.
And we're trying to kind of work together, but as separate entities. We're not going to marry or merge or tie the knots together. We're going to keep it separate.
Sure.
But, we fix equipment. He sells equipment. I'm like, look, I can go specify, measure, basically be a manufacturer's rep, a service agent, and a dealer all in one little group. I mean, the industry's about consolidation. That's where we're going. And that's where I feel like the natural progression is going to lead for service companies, and dealers are going to end up melding together. And even reps aren't far out of being out of a job, if you think about it, because all they sell to is universities, correctionals, and school systems.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go talk to restaurants a whole lot.
Right.
They don't talk to chains a whole lot because the factories have already made their deals with them. Look, we're going to sell you this equipment package. They don't need a rep. What do they need them for? And
true.
I think that's where we're going with. That's where I'd like to take it in my mind. I think that's the most efficient way to do it. And I get a lot of enjoyment out of going into a kitchen, dealing with a proprietor or, whoever it may be, and just say, look, here's what you got. But haven't you thought about, let's, instead of having this piece here and this here, let's move this around. Hey, let's get the fryers away from the sensitive equipment. Like, there's a chain restaurant we did Turbo Chef warranty work for, and they had a char grill and a fryer, and then they had a set of NGOs stacked in between. I'm like, this is the worst thing you could do.
A lot of heat damage, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I'd like to go with it. And, I still want to keep the service going and hire people. As it's the tale of woe right now. Anywhere is hiring. We know that. But this too shall pass. It'll eventually get better, I think. You just have to, you have to stay strong and just diligent and just keep plowing through it. Eventually it will come around. I feel confident in that. Yeah,
it will. It will. And looking from, just talking and growing and having the business is running you kind of thing. And I felt that way for a long time, when I was in the service manager seat, and you have your horse blinders on and you're just focused on the day-to-day. You're doing quotes, you're involved in billing, you're talking to your techs, you're talking to the reps, the dealers, the factories, you're answering phone calls and emails. And it's just all of a sudden you look up at the clock at 6 o'clock, what really happened today. I ran my business, I guess I ran my day to day, but there's no one keeping an eye on the ball of what's next and what's coming. And I think for you, I think you definitely have to and I don't know, the landscape and what you have going on fully, but I think it would be great. I would love to see you grow. Trying to find that next technician, maybe you got to train. I don't know if you're looking to train guys, but if you are, I mean, maybe it's time to visit a school, a technical school, and grab a young guy or girl that's interested, that wants to work with their hands, and train them your way, and do one. You could do. I mean, it's slow growth, but until something else happens, why not just do something, right? Do something to move forward, and that's kind of leading me into what Through Their Eyes is also partly about, showing the next generation what is possible. Whether you start as a technician today, that doesn't mean that that's the be all end all. You might do that for a decade and say, I want to be in operations now. I want to be a service manager now. There's opportunities are endless. So if we're talking to the next generation right now, what are some of, I know we kind of talked a lot about different things already, and we might be kind of redundant, but we're still going to do it because it's important. What are we going to tell the next generation why they need to pay attention to the food equipment service industry?
Well, I mean, it's kind of what I touched on just a moment ago. It's like where I want to go. There's, I wouldn't say limitless. That would be a little too out there. There are limits to what you can do in this industry. I mean, there are caps, but you can start off as a parts runner in your company, move into a tech, go into dispatch, move up into a management role just in your organization. And in any organization, you could do that. And you can, like what I'm talking to do, I'm going to go from being in service to go into basically being a dealer, kind of, or a rep, or a consultant. I mean, in this business, you can do that. You can work for a manufacturer. You could work in food service. You could be a chef and go to work for a factory and be a manufacturer's corporate chef.
True.
I mean, it is really wide what you can do in this industry. It is enormous. Honestly, other than healthcare, this is probably the largest industry on earth if you look at the breadth of it.
Yeah.
From either end, from the food service, the end user part, all the way to the dealers, the factories, us as agents, and all the ancillary things that go into it, just like US and Cisco. I mean, that's part of the industry, even though they're way over here in another block. They're still in the same town we all live in. If you think of it as a town or a city, it's just different. It's like the 5 boroughs.
Right.
It's all New York. It's all the same.
For sure.
It's a lot to be done there. I mean, there's a lot of ways to get into it, and there's plenty of money to be made and lost. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We got Jesus coming through.
Yeah. He said, Q, what's good? Love your video. You rocked it. And I actually have a question for you, Quentin.
Yep.
No, and Jesus, you're on here too. So do you guys have any advice or critiques for anyone who's going to be getting this vlog kit next?
Aha.
What would you say to the next person who has all this equipment now that you've used it, and you mentioned before the head thing was the best? But
make sure you have an extra micro SD card, because you will burn through the time.
That's a good tip.
Fun fact: Quentin really did. What is it? 128 gigabyte SD card was completely filled, and then he used a second 128 gigabyte SD card in the GoPro. So that is so much footage that you filmed. But and Jesus says, just be yourself and stay real.
Yeah, that's the best advice. Don't try to put any airs on. Don't try to direct yourself like you're in a film. Just be you. And I mean, this is funny. I was going to mention this to you before we went live, but when I first heard myself, you know how the thing is when you hear your own voice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in my mind, I hear, when I'm speaking, I hear Christopher Lee, Peter O'Toole, Laurence Olivier. That's what I hear in my head. But what everybody else hears is Larry the Cable Guy. So it was like a huge wake up for me to like, okay, well, I need to remember I sound like that.
I'm
That's
not
awesome.
sure who's this. Damn, Quentin, I'm slacking. Who commented that?
Facebook user. Let's go find out real quick.
And what's it like, Quentin, being?
Oh, it's Dylan Taylor.
Oh, Dylan, yes, because Dylan is
he's next.
He's next. He's going to be episode 3. He currently has the vlog kit.
He'll knock it out. He'll be all right.
And what I was gonna ask him something. Dylan took my thought away.
It'll come back.
It'll come back.
Yes. And listen, we have stuff on LinkedIn where Chris Rowling said, man, keeps me wanting to watch more. Nice job. Xavier Quintana, best episode yet.
He needs to be on one. He
Yeah.
will
Oh,
have some
absolutely.
really cool footage.
I
Yeah.
commented as well. I want to get him on.
Yes,
He's in
absolutely.
New York.
He's in New York.
He's in New York.
He's a New Yorker. So yeah, I mean, yeah, would definitely that would be a great market. Great guy to strap that GoPro to and see what he's up to. You know, and not to go too far off topic, but you know, we're talking in the company meeting today, and when you talk about the stuff through their eyes, and these are, you know, technicians are very particular. They have their ways. They want things to be a certain way. Because they know they have a job to do and they need to get it done and they need to be efficient. And, you know, so there's a lot of variables at play every day in the field. And we had a big company meeting this morning, and one of those topics, and I'm not going to go full disclosure on everything that was said because I don't want to incriminate myself and get people really angry at me. But talking with, let's just say, the manufacturer partnerships as they go, and tech support, I put that on LinkedIn. I'm like, should I talk about this or am I going to get in trouble? But this is through their eyes directly from the field. You know, what are your thoughts on trying to get through to tech support? And I got a text message right now from one of my guys, and I'm not going to mention anything here, but perfect example, waiting for a call back, multiple messages left, no return yet. Told by tech to call regular tech support. I don't know. He's waiting for calls back for hours already. What are you seeing out there with that?
Do you got 45 minutes to an hour?
Yeah.
Literally for 2 reasons. 1, for me to blather on about it, and 2, to stay on hold, because that's about right.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
You've got several problems or several causes to this issue, I think. One of them is simply, okay, you've got factories that they don't have the staff. I don't want to keep, everybody's so sick of COVID and why and blah, blah, but it's true. Some of them are just short-staffed. They're having a hard time.
True.
And Turbo Chef has notoriously been bad here lately about getting somebody on the phone at times. And they want you to call in, like when you finish a warranty, they want you to call it in and close it out.
Yep.
For us, they don't worry about it. We had a discussion and they're like, well, it's just the 2 of y'all. We know y'all take care of it. Just shoot us an email.
Okay, fair enough.
Them. I understand if you got 50 guys running around, it's a little different. Because I got to a point where I was calling in. I'm sitting at a Subway or wherever, and I just finished a call, and I'm sitting there in the truck, old music, waiting and waiting, and I look and I keep looking. It's like 30 minutes. I said, I'm done with this crap. I'm leaving. I'm not going to sit here all day, and I'm not going to drive down the road and have the state police pull me over and write me a ticket because I'm on my phone.
Yep.
So I said, it's enough of that crap. I'm just going to leave, and we'll shoot them an email. If they don't like it, tough.
Right.
We got all day to sit around. So, that's one problem. 2, and this might get a little touchy. So if anybody gets mad, get mad at me. Y'all can fuss at me all you want.
If we don't have to name names, we won't name names. Well, if you feel you need to, I won't stop you.
Well, I'm gonna name a name, but it's not gonna be for this. So you've got some factories that out of necessity or some out of necessity. So the ones that can't get enough people to do tech support. And then you've got some that have made a deal with PT Holdings. We're going to send you our parts department because it's cheaper for us to do that. And they're already cutting them probably 60, 65 points anyway. We know that. They ain't fooling nobody. How can you sell at a discount how can you sell cheaper than I bought it at? You've got to be getting it deeper than I am.
Of course.
So, so there's, they're sending it to that place. And so you call some factories tech support and that's who you get. Well, the problem with that is those people may not really be tech support in the sense of they know everything. You get this because you call and they'll say, well, okay, what model have you got? What's serial? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay. And, you ask a question. I'm having a problem with whatever. Mm-hmm. They're going through the Partstown website, pulling the manual up and looking through the troubleshooting guide that I could have pulled up anyway. So that's not entirely helpful. That's something any tech can do in the field. Usually when we call, and I speak now as a tech, the what do you call them? Their particular way they want things. And, I know what you're talking about. So now as a tech, if I'm calling you, I'm in bad shape. I've exhausted every avenue. I've called all the other guys in the company. I've tried everything I can think of. I need somebody that engineered this piece of equipment to talk to now. So talking to, and I'm not faulting the CSR that's answering the phone trying to help. That's more of like, why did you put that person in that position to start with? If they aren't trained on the equipment and they don't know it and they're just reading from a script or from the manual, well, I mean, what good is that? I mean, how are you helping anybody with that? And to that end, any factory that is going to send their tech support out like that, I think Well-Built did that. When they did kitchen care, I think they rolled that out and they had problems and they had to do it out of necessity. Mm-hmm. And I think they're pulling it back in, is what I understand. And I hope that's true. And talk about getting off topic. Thank God in heaven that Ali Group ponied up and bought Well-Built. Because honestly, if Middleby had done it, they'd have had a damn monopoly. They'd have big. All the equipment. 80% of the market in North America would have been theirs at that point. And there's nothing that, the trade commissions or anybody would have done anything about it because they could have still argued they have competition. It's not like Bell Atlantic. They didn't have a complete monopoly. Right. What I would call a practical monopoly, where what are you going to do about it? And that's kind of the same game with the parts business. It's getting to where, that company has bought so many other companies and service agents that they're kind of building that. And I've noticed that in my discount. We used to get pretty good discount from those folks, and now we send off and get quotes, and they're sending me stuff that's just asinine, like $10 off a $200 part. Right. Like, are you kidding me? No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, it's just crazy to do that, and I fear. That's my fear for that whole situation is that they are going to eventually get to a point where they have everybody by the short and curlies. And just turn around and they're going to be able to charge you what they want. And that kind of goes back to the factories making those deals. It's short-sighted. It's just, how can we make some money today? How can we make some money in the next 5 years? Make the private equity people happy, which is fine. I have no fault against all of that. It's capitalism. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it. But manufacturers at the end of the day, the people that run them, the CEOs, the presidents, everybody needs to really think hard before they start making these leaps like this and look at how you're going to ripple affect everybody in this business. Just like Webster, when they came out, they're there and they do what they do, and I don't fault them. But they're kind of like Walmart. They killed every nickel dime store. So every little dealer
Taz
going out of business. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Taz.
It's all Taz's fault. Just blame him. That's cool. I'll take it on the chin.
That's it.
So, it's like my dealer, the friend of mine in town I deal with, people come to him all the time and they want, I don't know, let's just say, a countertop warmer. And he'll have one there in like $250 or whatever. So I can get it from Webster for $180. He said, well, go ahead and order it. And then what they don't look at is, they can buy it $180 if they buy 5 at a time. Mm-hmm. And then you turn around and add shipping, and now you're up to $250. And it says, well, I mean, the argument then is it's on my shelf. Do you want it or not? And he ain't making no money on it at 250. I mean, his margins sometimes just scare me. I'm used to, like you were used to, 50-50. You know, you 50 off, you charge list, you make 50. You make $1 for $1.
Yep.
That's all gone. Not all gone. It's still there for some, you know.
It is. It is
50, but you know, with equipment, their margins are anywhere between 6 and 16%.
very small margin. A lot of that money's coming on the back end, I believe, from like rebates and different things.
Well, and that's only if you're big enough to move that much every year.
Oh yeah,
if
exactly.
You're a little dealer and you sell like Hatco. I think Hatco wanted $25,000 in net to get a discount, a better discount, and he's like, I don't sell that much on net in a year.
Yeah,
we had the same thing with TNS. They cut our discount back because we had to sell like, I can't remember what the number was. We didn't cross it. So we got cut from 50 to 40, 46.2 or some crazy number. And I'm thinking, how did 4% kill y'all selling to us anyway? Couldn't we just kept that margin so we could be competitive? It's funny. You get punished for not selling enough by cutting your discount to where you can't sell enough. If you don't get a deep discount, you can't be competitive. So then you're going to naturally fall off the face of the earth at some point.
Yeah, or you have to just take that price. Unfortunately, you know, the customer suffers because now you got to take it and double it to make that money that you used to make. Because listen, our overhead is tremendous right now. It's more expensive to operate a service company than it's ever been. It's never going to go back the other way. It's never going to go backwards. No. You know, insurances are through the roof. We just had another our health insurance this morning, some chatter with that. I mean, that had to go, that went up. Everything's going up. It's going to go up and up and up and up. So yeah, I mean, we have to do to protect our businesses. At the end of the day, we're all business owners, independent business owners, and we have to do what's right for our business. I mean, I don't see what's you know, why that would ever be, you know, horrible to think by anybody.
You got to look out for your family.
Or held against us, right?
Yeah, your employees, like I said yesterday in that comment, you know, you've got 3 customers: your employees, and your end users. And you said it right. You know, I'm happy the least. Well, that should be the order of things. You should be the last person that you're worried about pleasing. The other 2, those are the ones you got to keep happy, because if they're like mama, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Sure.
Techs aren't happy, the customers ain't gonna be happy. If the customers aren't happy, you're not happy, and then the techs aren't happy. So
true. We got Jesus that jumped in
he
here.
Commented on the tech support. I have not had a problem yet with manufacturers I do warranty with, and thus far, even though we stay busy, we can accommodate them on a next day call, but I barely deal with their tech support unless I need to update them on what I did, how I fixed it, and if there is anything else they would like me to do or check.
Okay. Yeah. And, you know, I think this is one of those level things, you know, if depending on what your call load looks like, depending on what your business kind of looks like, and who your customer base is, you know, what is, you know, we all have different models. And there's different for us, you know, 18 techs, going to be 20 techs, going to be 25 techs, going to be 30 techs. We're going to keep doing that, right? So for us, you know, looking at the landscape of the market, looking at what service is to the industry at this point, which is king, and, you know, looking at the rates. I mean, I think for us, one of the big things with our technicians this morning, Quentin, was, you know, they're frustrated in the field, not just from the support standard, but Rich, why are we doing this for nothing? Like, and they know the business end of it. Like, Rich, you're not making any money on the part. You know, we're breaking our backs to do this, and this. You're not making any money on the labor. You're not doing this. Like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, well, listen, there's more to it than that, right? There is more to it than that. But there's got to be talk of street rate at this point for any of this to make sense, you know. And I reached out to a manufacturer not too long ago, about a week or 2 ago, and they said, well, we're not interested to hear about your street rates. And that's like, well, then I guess I can't be interested in working with you no more.
Nope.
That's just, you put a wall between me and you. I mean, I'm in business. Why should I not think that I deserve getting paid street rate when that's where we make our dollar now? Everything else has been taken away.
Does the chip on the shoulder come from the way it's always been? mentality.
Oh, I think you're. Yeah, I think you're on the nail. Right? You're hitting the nail on the head there. I mean, it's there's a lot of this is the way it's always been, and this is the way status quo, and it's just the kiss of death for any business or for any industry or for anyone to think that the way it's always been is going to be what takes you to the promised land of success. It's just not. And listen, I'm not angry about it. I'm gonna maneuver, and I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm gonna talk about it because these are the issues that are going on. But this is by no means complaining. Like, to each their own. If it's not a good fit, then it's not a good fit, and that's okay. I wish everybody well. I wish everybody success. I have a job, and that job is to make sure that this company stays profitable for the people that wear the logo every day and come in and say, Rich, I'm going to work hard for this company, for you, because I want to be successful. I want my family to have. I want you to win. I want me to win. And that's what it's all about. And we can't do that if the conversations are dead. We're not talking about it. We don't want to hear about it. All right, well, listen, have a nice day. You don't pay my bills here. Especially with that attitude. I mean, we're never going to find common ground. And I'm open to talk. There's no be all end all. There's always a negotiation. So anyway, we could probably talk about this for a long time.
Well, I was going to say, they don't want to talk about it. Well, I mean, if they want to go back to the way it was, that's fine. I'm good with that. Let's go back to service companies get 50%. We're the parts distributor. We have our protected territories that nobody's going to screw with. We can go right back to all that and everything be hunky-dory.
Sure.
No problem. We can go back to discounted labor rates, but I want to make my 50% on parts. And I don't want nobody else making it but me. If that ain't going to be the case, then you're going to pay it some. This is something I've learned to say lately. You're going to pay for it somewhere. And I tell that to customers that go buy shoddy, cheap equipment and then complain in 6 months when they have to throw it in the dumpster. And I already told them, said, don't buy that. You're throwing your money away. You're going to pay for it somewhere. You either buy the $3,000 grill or you buy the $800 grill and you throw it away 4 times. You take your pick. So like labor rates, I mean, we're cheap down here. I mean, we charge $90 an hour. And 65 cents a mile, which we came up to. We were at 75 for 10 years.
Oh, man.
And then I think 2 or 3 years ago, I said, we need to go up. We're way behind everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, our street rate, we just bumped it up actually not too long ago. It's 135 an hour here.
Right. And in your market, that's probably on the fair end of fair, to be honest.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh, absolutely. And
I'm thinking the first of the year, if gas prices stay where they are, and everything, if the inflation stays where it's on the track that I feel like it's going to stay on, I think we're going to have to go up first of the year because 90 is not going to cut it anymore.
No, and listen, it's whatever you got to do for your business. That is what's most important. Nobody else can dictate that to you. And to talk about some of the stuff too as well. They want 4 hour. People want 4 hour response times. They want 24-hour response times. They want you stocking $20,000-$30,000 of parts. I have no idea if I'm going to get a service call for this stuff after the warranty, and then I'm going to lose all that money because no one's going to take it back because that's part of the deal. But you want to pay me $70 or $80 an hour to do it. You want premium service, premium everything, but you want the discount. It just doesn't add up. And we give you a parts discount, and not for nothing. There's this little thing called the internet. People are doing it every day. There's other ways, and I think that this needs to be talked about. And I'm trying to give insight to whoever's watching to understand and pay attention to what's happening across the nation, because service companies are coming around to, it's time for street rate. It's time for us to strengthen the partnership in a different way. And, you want us to be there for you? Hell yeah, we want to be there for you. But we don't want to do it at a discount or a loss, because a lot of times that's basically what it is.
Yeah, it is. And the way you can liken it to folks is turn around and say, look, it's like the car wash. When you go to the car wash, you get the $8 wash, the $12 wash, and the $20 wash. Do you want the one to just knock some of the dirt off, or do you want the one to get your car clean? You pick.
Right. Jesus is back.
I'm bringing in this comment. Discounts for companies like mine are rare, and we have to work with it. Sad that it's all about the numbers, but like Rich said, you have to worry about your company.
We do, and I didn't create this. I'm in the industry and I'm living in it, and I'm going with the punches. I'm rolling with them. I'm going with the flow, and yeah, Jesus, you're running your company. Quentin, you're running your company. I'm here running the company. The numbers have to make sense. If you plan on growing and you plan on building your business, if you are not running 30-40% margins on these calls and you're at 5%, 6%, 7% or worse, you're in big trouble for sustainability. I'm just going to tell you that right now. You can't grow with those small margins.
No.
So yeah, I mean, that's the business end of it. And we want to help. There's nothing we want to do more than to tackle calls and help customers and get things done for our partners. But man, we got to have an honest conversation, and that's really what it is. It's not about hurting anybody, and there's going to be negotiations, and I'm okay with that. We can negotiate. It doesn't have to be what I say. I'm saying over here it can't be a dictatorship. I'm not trying to dictate either, but I'm telling you I think it needs to. There's a discussion of what fair market price is moving forward. Flat rates got to go. Swing in for free got to go. No, I can't do it no more. These technicians here, if you saw the salaries in this market, half of you across the country would fall off your chairs.
Well, Jesus actually added to his comment. He said that in our market here, that's competitive. When I worked in New York, most companies were at 200 hour or more.
And that's what it is. And that's what I'm finding, especially in New York. It's $300-$400 to walk through your door. Yes, it's that. And it's expensive to run a service company in this market.
And in other industries too, people don't think about. Like I got friends in the elevator trade, they get $450, $500 an hour. That's their billing rate.
Wow.
Because who else are you going to call?
Yeah. And for us in this industry, are there other options for anyone to get? There's options out there, and I just talked to Dan Deibler about this, and I talked to Dan Deibler a lot over the past couple of years, and listen to a lot of the things that he does, and he's a profitable guy. He makes money. That's what we all want, and congratulations to him for his big move. But he's of that mindset. Like, listen, if you got to walk away from any partnership, whether it's a customer, manufacturer, whatever you want to call it, if you're making 5% or losing 5%, why are you still taking the call? Let the guy that's an hour down the road drive in and take that loss, because two things are happening. That company, unfortunately, is taking a loss, and they're probably not doing a great job for them because they have no training and they know nothing about it.
Yep.
There's so many different variables. You want premium, you want quality, you want Safesa certified companies, Safesa certified techs, manufacturer trained techs. You pay for it, and you're going to be happy at the end of the day you did. Another mic drop.
Like a bad marriage, there's no sense staying in it. I mean, if your relationship with a manufacturer is bad, or vice versa, if you're a manufacturer out there and you have an agent that you have a problem with, then you got to let them go. You can't just hang on.
Right.
Or at least talk about it. Go through, like marriage, go through counseling first. And if you can't work out your differences, then you just cut your losses and let it go.
I was just going to say that was something, a comment made during breakfast at the company meeting this morning, that this specific situation is like an abusive relationship.
Yeah. They were like, Rich, they're abusing you. You're being abused, man. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want these guys to look at me like that. I'm like, oh, but we have these meetings for a reason. I'm paying attention. I have to listen. I have to listen to the people that are in the front line. So we brought a lot back to the drawing board. But I'm going to talk about some of the stuff we talked about in the meeting on another episode. But we got this one got away from us a little bit.
It did. One more question related to Through Their Eyes, and the reason why we do Through Their Eyes is for the next generation we mentioned before. So Quentin, I just need to know, how do you talk to your kids about your business? Like what do they know about what you do on a day-to-day, and is it something that they might take interest in?
Well, I sat with my daughter last night and watched the video premiere.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we sat right here in this room in this chair and watched it.
Nice. I love it.
And I told her, I said, this is what Daddy does. And they kind of know because they come to the office. So they see the equipment and they've been there. And I've had my daughter, I put a picture of her on, I think it was on the Fed group, probably a while ago. She was working on a Toastmaster pop-up toaster. So I'm not going to push them into it. I'm not going to be that dad. I'm not going to say, You're going to come run the family business. I'm going to give them the option. If they want it, it's there. If they don't, then they do whatever they want as they grow up, which, I mean, my daughter's 6, my son's going to be 5 next February. So I've got a little time.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to look at it. Just let them find their happiness. Be there to support them for sure.
Yeah, because life's way too short. Rich, you're getting ready to hit 40.
I am. It's brutal.
Them damn cheeseburgers and pizzas, and you're going to slack off. You better eat more Fruit Loops.
I'm telling you, I'm starting. Thankfully, I've been able to hold off some of the heavy weight, but I think if I don't stop soon, I'm going to be in big trouble.
Dude, I think we need to do a podcast.
What do you want to do? What's the topic? Is it going to be on food?
Just this.
Just this?
Wait, you were ask him about the
omelet. I mean, we've talked for 45 minutes. We could easily go on for a couple of hours.
We could do that. We could maybe do something, the Rich and Quentin show for your drive in the morning from 6 to 10 a.m.
Oh my God.
We'll get Lisa in here. Well,
But Quentin, so off camera, Rich was asking me about mentioned the omelet that you made, right? That was like the first thing we saw. How you started your day was a nice omelet. So you usually put the potato chips on there.
Yeah, I'm sure that's blasphemy for some people to have potato chips with breakfast.
I think that's an excellent idea. So it's exactly like a hash brown, but crunchier.
Kind of like skipping all the work. The work is already done for you. You just pop the bag open and pour them on the plate. No cooking involved. And ketchup. Don't forget the ketchup part.
Oh, yeah. No, listen, that sounds amazing to me. I mean, listen, we were talking, that's like hash browns, right?
Yeah.
Lisa said, I mean, we have hash browns. Why not just crumble some potatoes with ketchup? We might have to make that like a breakfast of champions page on the Fed group and have everyone posting their breakfast and how they start their day.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Could be interesting.
Yeah, we should do a podcast, dude. We could do it Sunday nights. Do it all weekend.
Jason says we still need to see the Lisa cut of the episode. Well, Jason, if I actually cut an episode of all the footage that Quentin sent me, it would be probably a 3-hour saga.
A 3-hour tour.
It would be like watching the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yes, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, right? That's what it would be like. But I think that there might be a season 2 of Through Their Eyes, and because my goal here is to get this on a larger radar, on a bigger scale, and I'm sure that once we put together these 10 episodes, we can shop it around to people and show them what it is we're trying to do in terms of inspiring people to get a look behind the in the kitchen, what's going on with these techs. I think you should have a whole 1-hour special, Quinn.
Hey, and I just to put this out there, if anybody wants to contact me anytime, do it. I mean, I'm on the group. Just shoot me a messenger chat. I'll give you my phone number. We can talk all day. I don't care. I feel like, I don't feel like my head's this big. I don't have this huge ego, but I spent my life in this industry. That's all I know. And if I can give any knowledge to anybody, people just starting, people got questions, or even other veterans, if you just want to, vent.
Oh yeah,
need to vent. I'm here. So that
I love it.
And Jason, that's my exact goal. I do want to send it to Mike Rowe, and whoever his contacts in this industry are, please reach out to me, because I obviously can't contact Mike Rowe myself.
Well, I could tell you, I have been sending Mike Rowe messages and emails, however you want to think, Instagram stuff. I have been sending him stuff for years. He was actually at a Cefesa conference, and we saw him speak. He was just kind of telling some different stories, but tag Mike in every video we put up. If you want to tag him, that's maybe a way to get his attention, to kind of say, hey, the food equipment service industry's here. Yeah, no, like I said, I've been at it over and over and over and over again. He probably gets them and looks at him like, this guy's annoying. But
Lisa, I forgot
that we're serious about putting this industry on the map.
Yeah.
Yep.
One thing I wanted to mention, Lisa, I'm so glad you picked up on the dueling banjos motif. I mean, I was driving into Franklin County. That's the moonshine capital of the world. I thought, yeah, this will work.
That's awesome. No, I had to. I wanted to put every bit of your humor in there because you are very funny in a lot of the footage.
Yeah.
Like Rich and I were like, wow, Quentin's in like a star. We never even knew it.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. You're people are like probably saying to themselves, I want to see more of this guy. So we could definitely jump on some more lives and do a podcast or whatever you want to call it. We could definitely do more of it.
I got to get up there with my Malachy Parts and Service shirt and go run calls with you for a day. How about that?
That'd be awesome.
Listen, you're welcome up here anytime. We'll get you in a van. We'll have some fun.
I'll figure it out on my end. I'll get there somehow, if I got to just walk.
Hey, listen, it's probably a 6-hour drive. Not too bad.
Yeah.
You know, I just drove down there Labor Day. I mean, I think you're a little bit further out maybe, but
yeah, it's about 7 hours, give or take. I was thinking about coming to Allentown next weekend, so I'll be close. I might holler at you if I get up there.
Allentown, Pennsylvania?
Yep.
Oh, that's way past us, isn't it?
That's pretty far.
West, about an hour and a half from you. I think it's 80 miles or so.
That's not true. He says, I'm saying to myself, damn, I need a rerun. Mine sucks, LMAO.
No.
Rerun.
Yours was great.
Loved it.
I'm telling you, we're gonna get Micro to help produce this, and then you won't have to film it yourself. Somebody will be filming you for the day. That's the goal. That's the goal here.
Yeah.
Bad
production crew. But listen, I think we're at the max limit here. We're gonna take this one down.
Thank you, Quentin, so much for participating in Through Their Eyes and coming onto the live stream today. It really means a lot to everything that we're doing and trying to push this industry forward.
Well, thanks a lot for having me. I really appreciate it, and it was an honor. It really was. I mean that.
Well, we're honored to have you, and we appreciate you very much. And thank you for all the continued, the love and support for Fed and for everything that we got going on. And the love is right back at you, my friend. Hopefully, we're gonna figure out how to get you to FedCon. I know you don't get on a plane.
We got to get him on a train.
Oh, I have a solution to that. I figured it out.
Okay.
FedCon 2024 in my town.
All right, FedCon 2024.
We have a conference center big enough to accommodate it, and I have a hookup there, so we can get us a good rate.
All right, we'll have to start putting some feelers out and see if we get people excited.
What if we did it in DC? Because that would actually be pretty cool.
That'd be fine. I can make that. No problem.
And DC might be a really cool place to do FedCon.
You can't build it around me, but
we could do a DC thing. Yeah. Interesting. Well, we'll think about it. Let's get through 2022 first, and then we'll circle back.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon.